Good evening and welcome to the Anna L. Brothers show and podcast, Sweet Blessings, where we come to you every Wednesday at 7:30. And let me tell you, the purpose of this podcast is to provide knowledge, workshops, and speakers to inspire, encourage, and empower people to live a healthier lifestyle. And so I come on every week with a little topic and everything. Oh, before I forget, I'm Anna. I'm a retired school teacher, an educational consultant, a certified cake instructor, a jewelry consultant, and a health consultant. And I come to you with just knowledge. My podcast is about ordinary people doing extraordinary things, and it's about the whole being of the person. Just everything, the physical, the social, the emotional, um, the mental aspects of your life. Um, just trying to share knowledge and things to make your life better. So, before we begin, I want to remind you all that I am on Facebook. I'm streaming to Facebook as well as we speak. And I want you to know that you can support me by sending stars. And stars help me earn money to make more content and a better content for you. And sometimes even provide you with better speakers as well. So I just wanted to come on and kind of tell you a little bit about me. I am on other platforms. I am on Instagram and I go live 3 days a week um, on with my jewelry consulting. And I am on Instagram there as well. So this is my Instagram account, and I'm also on Facebook as well. So I wanted to, at the bottom, you'll see my Facebook account if you want to check me out there as well. And I have a website, and my website is a bit. This is my bit. You can go there. I do have guest spots on my show. So if you're interested in becoming a guest, I have different types of sponsorships. So if you're interested in doing different types of sponsorship, remember that I'm looking for ordinary people doing extraordinary things. And so I would be glad to have you come on my show with your platform. So just leaving that there for a little bit. And then also, if you have any questions, or anything like that, this is my email. You're more than welcome to email me there with any type of questions or anything that you might have that is related to sweet blessings. And I always tell people I would be so eternally grateful, really and truly, if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to build it, and so this is my YouTube channel there. So if you could jot that down, I'm always looking for support, and you need viewers on uh, YouTube. YouTube is something that I really just have not gotten into, and so I'm trying to build my audience over there as well. So if you could help me out by going over there and subscribing to my YouTube channel, I will be eternally grateful. So I think that's about it for the housekeeping for this evening. I'm going to take what is called a brief commercial. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about diverse school types and how they impact the learning of your children. Okay. And so sometimes you just don't realize how many choices that you have and what is the right choice to make for your child. So we're going to take that brief commercial, and then I am going to come back and I'll be ready to talk to you about the diverse types of schools. Oh, thank you. Well, I just want to let you know that I am a part of the CTI Media Network. And I always try to make sure that I reach out and let people know about the CTR Media Network. It is run by Dr. Tina Ramsey. And if you're interested in starting a podcast, by all means, reach out to her. All right, so let's get into it this evening. Diverse school types and their impact on learning. Whenever I do this research and stuff that I do, I always come up with some things that I don't know. So I always tell people you never, ever get too old to learn. So I want you to know that parents have a growing array of options in choosing a school. The No Child Left Behind Act of 2001, you all remember that? The rapid growth of the charter schools movement, the increasing number of states enacting vouchers, scholarships, and tax credits programs, the expansion of privately funded scholarship programs for low-income children, and the growing acceptance of homeschooling have all increased the choices available to families. This episode describes the different types of schools that may be available in your community. So, sometimes we ask ourselves, when we think about our children, we always think about let me put it to you like this. When I was teaching, because I am a retired school teacher, but when I was teaching, I had all different types of children and all different types of families, all different types of economically status of those families. But it did not matter whether it was from the richest to the poorest. Everyone wanted the best for their child. Believe me. So no one cares more about your child's welfare than you, and no one else will be more careful to see educated and well treated in school. You know your child's personality, strengths, and weaknesses. You know the interest that lights up your child's eyes, and you know the value that your family wants a school to respect. So you have to think of all of those things as well. So choosing your child's school may also make you more confident that she will be taught effectively and treated fairly. Choosing your child's school carefully is an important way you can help your child achieve all that he can be. This is a head and a heart decision. Don't be afraid to heed your own informed and intuition, wisdom. Okay? So now we're going to take another commercial, and then when I come back, I am going to talk about there's 10 different types of schools for kids. And so I'm going to kind of expound on that. So let's break for a commercial, and I'll be right back.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
well, we're back. So, why choosing your child's education is important. So, these are kind of like the topics that I am going to go over this evening. Did you know that there are four types of public schools? Mm. I knew that there was public schools, but as I went into this, I realized that there's seven types of private schools, and then there are three other types of schools that do not fall up under the public or the private. And then I'm going to give you three important reasons for going to school and four tips to choose the right school because it can be overwhelming. And just think about the luxury of choice. Okay. So let's kind of delve into this. So there are four types of public school. Four types. So should you go for small public school in your neighborhood that's just a few blocks down from you where you live, or should you consider the new private school that opened just a half-hour drive away? The growth of the charter school movement, the enactment of the No Child Left Behind Act in 2001, and the expansion of social inclusion programs have made this binary decision even more complex. In between the obvious choices of public and private schools, on opposite ends is a spectrum of different types of school for kids, like the magnet school, the public, virtual um, school. Hold on a minute. Look, these are my notes. They're all going all kind of ways, y'all. The boarding schools. Have y'all thought about that? Among others for parents to choose from. So where do you start? Where do you start? Seriously, where do you start? Now, when I was growing up, I only thought of two schools, public and private. That was it. Um, but I see, as I did the research, that it's a little bit more involved than that. And even as a uh, public school teacher, these schools, some of these, like I tell you, I'm familiar with a lot of them, but the classification and where they are put is a different thing. So I'm not going to get into the early childhood spectrum, like preschool through fifth age 5. But I want to talk about that next week. I'm going to talk about the different types of daycares that is going that you have a choice of selecting for your children for their like preschool education. But there is one program that I do want to tell you about. It's called Splash Learn. It's a comprehensive learning program for pre-K through, I guess, fifth grade. And what it does, it inspires lifelong curiosity with game-based pre-K through fifth learning programs for children. And there are over 40,000 fun games and activities. And it's kind of, they say it's kind of like a balance of learning and play for the little ones. Okay, so that's the only one that I'm going to, because that was a unique one that when I was doing my research, I found out about. But looking forward to choosing the right school type for your kid, we are more than happy to share educational resources for kids to help them learn better. That's what that program kind of does. So, my question to you is why choosing your child's education is important? Well, as a parent, we always want what's best for our children. We understand our children's strengths, weaknesses, interests, and personality, making us uniquely informed to make decisions regarding their welfare. Choosing your child's school carefully is more than just about finding a school with a curriculum that pushes your child to their best. and fractured structure that allows extracurricular activities for kids and teachers that suit their learning style. Like people, no two schools are alike, and like people, they can harbor and express different values. Choosing a school allows you to always choose the values you want to see your child embody. Factors in these considerations when deciding on the right school for your child is critical, as it can help you rest assured that you have committed your child to an institution with the faculty, environment, and values that it can ensure their holistic growth. So let's talk about the four types of public schools now. For many people, public schools are generally a top for a preference for good reasons. There are many different types of public schools that you can choose from, including the traditional public school, the magnet school, the charter school, the virtual school. So I'm going to take a little time and I am going to kind of talk about each one of these four types of public schools. And the first one is the traditional school. When you consider in different forms of school, public schools are bound to be the first thing that you think about. Well, traditional public schools generally refer to schools funded by the local, state, and federal government funds. Being institutions funded by the public finance, they must, in most cases, admit all students that live within the boundaries of the district where the school is based. While the specifics do vary from state to another state, they are usually free to attend. It requires teachers to have appropriate license before they can start teaching, and they must conform to state mandated rules regarding governance and curriculum. Traditional public schools usually offer programs for both general education students along with students with special needs. They may also have tracks for technical education, college preparations, and program to just to name a few of the things that you might find in the public school. Now, the next public school is a magnet school. Now, if your child kind of displays a special interest, like in STEM, the STEM program, or technology, or the arts, then magnet schools might be worth looking into. The magnet schools are public schools that have been transformed into specialized study environments by the school district. What does that mean exactly? In other words, magnet schools are free public schools operated by school districts that specialize in certain areas such as science, technology, or the arts. Magnet schools are very, very selective. A student that apply that's applying with music as the area of interest may, for instance, have to perform an audition or submit a portfolio of their work. A student that's applying for a STEM program may have to sit through an aptitude test. Custom curriculums designed to help kids reach specific learning goals and targets make magnet schools especially suited for the talented and the gifted child. Then we have, let's move on to the fourth one. come add myself back because I believe that I am going to take a brief commercial, and then when we come back, we will be talking about the traditional or the seven, I believe it's 7 of them, 7 private schools. We're going to talk about those when we come back.
Oh my goodness, the mailman came. I hope my sweet little thing cookie's in here. I just hope it's in here. Let me see. Let me open this up. That's it. That's it. Sweet little thing cookie. That sweet little thing cookie. Oh, I'ma have me a ball now. Let me just get this right here. Little thing cookie. That sweet little thing cookie. Oh yeah. I finally got my cookies. This sweet little thing cookies. Oh yeah. I'ma have fun. This package kinda big though. Man, it got a lot of cookies. Oh yeah, this the best day ever. I'm trying to tell you, I got my cookies, and I'm gonna eat these cookies, and ain't nobody gonna stop me. Wait, what?
Marie, what you doing, man? You can't have those cookies right now. I'm sorry, we about to eat dinner. Once we finish dinner, then you can have those cookies. Go ahead, put them up. Go ahead, put them up.
Are you serious, bruh? I got sweet Lestain cookies, and now I gotta wait for dinner? Fine, can I at least look at the cookies? Thank you. Oh my goodness, I have waited all this time now. I gotta do all this. Fine. Oh yeah. I got my hands on some sweet Lestain cookies, but I can't eat them right now.
All righty, sweet Lestain cookies, yummy, 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 yummy. They are so good. So we're going to talk a little bit about the 7 types of private schools. And so the first one we want to talk about is the traditional private school. And that's a private institution that raises their funds through tuition and ancillary fees. They reserve the freedom to deviate from state and national curriculums, and parents interested in sending their children to a traditional private school should pay close attention to the curriculum offered by prospective private schools. They have flexibility to design their own curriculum that might appeal to parents. Parents interested, let me make sure I'm telling you everything here. Okay, I just told you that. So the next one is the religious schools. And there are quite a few of those religious schools. And these are schools that appeal to parents who want to align with their religious values. So the National Association of Independent Schools, the Agadoth, Israel of America, and the ECLA Lutheran schools are a few examples of the many religious schools that can be found across the country. And many of these schools are affiliated with local church denominations or religious faith as well. Now, many of the religious schools have developed a reputation for academic excellence and are known to attract students looking for a school that delivers a quality learning experience. This academic excellence may be attributed to the flexibility they reserve in designing their curriculum and ensuring that the students find their education challenging and rewarding. So then we have the language immersion school. And what this one does is it offers the children the opportunity to immerse in a second language with a bilingual teacher. These schools offer a program that's designed for students whose native language is English and is characterized into three immersion categories by the Center for Applied Linguistics. So you either totally immersed into the language, whereas if it's Spanish, that's all, the whole curriculum and everything is done in Spanish or French or German or whatever language that you're trying to learn, or it can be partial. Um, where part of it is done in English, and then the other part is done in the other language, and two-way immersion as well. I don't know. I think my slides may be out. Oh no, it's not. And then you have the special educational school. And these are schools with children with special needs, and they can opt for private special education schools. And the special education schools offers individual attention from teachers and professionals that understand the modifications in the curriculum, which may be necessary for children with special needs. And then we have the parochial schools as well. And they are an extension of the local church. They are partners with the local church. Therefore, their funding comes from the church as well as from, parents. They might have fundraisers and things like that. But they also emphasize the importance of religious education. And they offer a basic curriculum that features basic subjects. So the advanced placement or international baccalaureate program. This is a rigorous and challenging academic environment, and some colleges and universities grant students credit for completing the advanced placement courses. Now, these are usually done in high school. So I'm familiar with the international thing because my granddaughter went to an international school and she has been taking, college credit courses and doing little things during the summer. So I was kind of aware of, so far most of these. So let's move on. I think it's a few more, maybe not. Let me go back because my slides are kind of out of whack here. I believe. I don't know how they got out of whack, but I did want to talk about boarding schools as well. And I don't see them in here. Maybe I missed them. I don't know. But boarding schools, not easy to define a boarding school. While they offer lodging and food to students to deliver a residential educational experience, there's much more to them than that. Boarding schools offer children the opportunity to assimilate into a community of artists, scholars, and athletes. Most boarding schools can't talk tonight, require students to live on campus for the duration of their school year. Now, while some boarding schools may specialize, oh my God, in specific areas such as sports, nature, or science, there generally are facilities living on, or there generally are faculties living on campus with students. This allows students to form a deeper relationship with both their teachers and fellow students as well. Look like my notes is out of whack too, but okay. So I believe we are going to take another commercial. Let me make sure I told you all 7 of the schools. I told you about the advancement one. Yes. Okay. And so we're going to take another commercial. And when we come back, I'm going to talk a little bit about the 3 other types of schools.
Go. I want to flex my love. I want to impress. And I want to carry my love away.
All righty. 3 other types of schools. Okay. So, homeschool, Waldorf school, and Montessori school. Now, the homeschool and Montessori school I was familiar with, but the Waldorf school I was not. So maybe some other people might have been thing. But like I told you, every time I do some type of research or anything that I'm doing, I find that I always find something that I don't know. Or I learned something different. So, what are the types of schools that parents are considering beyond traditional and public schools? So, these are 3 of those. Homeschooling. After receiving permission from the state to homeschool, parents can proceed with a pre-designed curriculum or design one of their own. Parents play a proactive role as educators when homeschooling their children, which can be both challenging and rewarding experiences. Then we have the Waldorf school, which is where the teachers usually remain with the same class for 5 or 8 years, which places teachers in a position to observe the long-term development of the student. This helps students feel more comfortable and secure in their learning. Now, I did not know that there was a school like this, but when I was teaching, there was, I don't know if this was what the name of it was called, the Waldorf method or whatever, but there were teachers that traveled with their children, not for 5 or 8 years, but maybe 2 or 3 years. Or if they started out in first grade with their teacher, then they went with that teacher. The teacher taught second grade the next year, and then the next year she taught third grade. And so she taught those same students for 3 years. But I just did not know that there was a school with that specification as well. And then the next thing is the Montessori school, which I was very much aware with because since I am an early childhood educator, and I was also on the board of the South Suburban AEYC. I'm still on the board of the Illinois AEYC. And we look at different schools, and one of the Montessori was one of the ones that we looked at. And I'm going to say that I was very fortunate to be able to speak and talk to some of the really a lot of people high up in the early childhood field. Lillian Katz was one of them. And so we had different things where we did tours and stuff, and we would tour different schools and everything. And also I was fortunate, it was not a Montessori. Let me tell you about that one after I talk about the Montessori schools as well. So the Montessori way of teaching stresses long-term learning. Montessori schools are designed for 3-year classroom communities that allow teachers to build relationships with the students and their parents. This structure allows teachers to better understand the interests and aspirations of not just the children, but also the parents. It is a program that values each child's interests and individuality. So it is a program where there really is not a lot of structure. Children are can go to what they basically uh, like. Uh, I never sent my child to a Montessori school because my child needed structure, for real. But it is such an interesting thing, early childhood. And another thing, I was very fortunate to travel um, to Egypt to look at their early childhood system, which they don't have preschool there. At least when I went there, they didn't. They had what is called nursery schools, which we're going to talk a little bit about um, next week. But it's always good to look at other people's educational system and how we all are learning, because we all have to learn um, as well. So these are the three other types of school. So we are going to take, sorry, we are going to take another break. I'm making up for last week because last week all of my stuff was gone. I don't know what happened. It really was not my fault. At first, I thought it was my fault as well. But I guess it was a glitch in the program, but we all back together. So I'm making up for all of those commercials that I did not get a chance to do last week. So I do want to do this commercial as well.
The Homeschooling Interactive Magazine is a magazine that embraces and celebrates the entire homeschooling experience. Our magazine is different from all the rest because we provide beneficial information and assistance in homeschooling, business, wellness, mental health, resources, and life. We encourage you to pick up a copy of our magazine today on Amazon.com by simply searching the Homeschooling Interactive Magazine. The Homeschooling Interactive Magazine is all about impacting the world through home-based learning, helping to de-stress the homeschooling experience. Get your copy from Amazon today.
All righty. And I thought that was so appropriate since I was, talking about homeschooling and things. But these are, hold on, y'all. That's 4 tips. I want to let me go back one slide. Or maybe not. Let's see. What is, okay. My slides are kind of out of order. I do apologize for that. But okay. Here we go. See, they're coming up. It should be at the end. I don't know what happened there, but before I get into, I want to give you 3 important reasons for going to school. I thought I had a slide on that, but I guess not. Maybe I was just going to tell you that. But 3, we cannot stress enough the importance of going to school and receiving a quality education. While different parents, teachers, and communities may have different ideas about what comprises a quality education, they can all agree on the importance of receiving one in the first place. So, the first thing is it's a ladder to college. Enrolling in college is crucial for an individual to realize their full potential. As such, most parents generally hope that their children eventually enroll in a good college or university after graduating from high school. A college degree can be a stepping stone toward a rewarding career, a life of self-discovery and self-actualization. There's no better way into a good college or university than a quality education, the way we see it everyone starts at school. The second thing is knowledge is powerful. This is what my mother used to always tell me. Knowledge is powerful, and no one can take away your knowledge. Schools are a foundation of knowledge and learning. To cultivate children to become inquisitive, lifelong learners with a desire to contribute to society, it is important for them to acquire knowledge. Schools act as a bridge between students and knowledge, helping them strive across to the other side to both empower and enlighten. Everything that kids learn in schools hold real world significance. A journey of learning and discovery in school can help children discover their ambitions and dreams. And then we have the holistic development, which is basically what I'm about, the whole being, the holistic. And when I talk about that, I'm just not talking about on adults. Because adults, we're children before we are adults. And so you must set the tone as a child with children so that they'll be able to function as an adult. Okay? So while the importance of knowledge cannot be stressed enough, schools are an institution that offer more than just learning. Children get to socialize with other individuals and promote social learning in kids while making friends in the process. Beyond classrooms, schools offer children the opportunity to discover their extracurricular interests, which can range from music to art to sports and everything in between. As children explore their interests and make friends, they're bound to build confidence in themselves and in their abilities. And then, let me move on to the next slide, which is 4 tips to help you choose the right school. Okay. So with so many different types of schools for parents to choose from, it's understandable for parents to feel overwhelmed and daunted by the options before them. There are, however, a few things that parents can keep in mind when deciding the right school for their child to make this decision easier. You need to look at the student-teacher ratio. The student-teacher ratio of a classroom determines the number of students a teacher has to teach. A classroom with a smaller student-teacher ratio of 20 to 1, for example, would mean that the teacher can devote more individual attention to a student learning than a classroom with a teacher-student ratio of 30 to 1. Depending on a child's learning role or learning style and ability, the student ratio may be of interest to parents while choosing a school. It may not always be a deciding factor on its own, but it should help parents narrow down their options. The next one is teaching and learning styles. You need to look at that as well. Not all schools have the same teaching strategies. Similarly, not all kids have the same learning style. Parents should consider taking into account the learning style of their children when considering a school for them. While some kids may be better suited to a more traditional curriculum, others may benefit from a flexible learning approach that allows them enough space to explore other extracurricular interests. And this brings us to the next point, which is extracurricular activities. But before I go to that, I want to kind of talk about an experience that I had in my early days when I was teaching. And I've taught all grades, really, basically. But I taught this class. It was called a motivational language arts class. And the children were bussed in to me. And I had to use a different teaching and learning style for those children because they were 2 to 3 years behind in reading and math. And so I'm explaining this because this is a different, so you'll understand the difference from teaching and the learning styles, because there are different learning styles uh, of teachers, and they are not the regular uh, the regular way. So I taught with comic books and things like that, as we would basically do. So I just wanted to tell you about that, and then I'm going to go into the extracurricular activities as well. So while larger schools with a big student population typically has a variety of extracurricular activities for kids to choose from, smaller neighborhood schools may be limited in their options. Depending on the child's interests, this may or may not matter, but it's something worth considering. And then you always, you need to visit the schools. While websites and brochures can give you a good idea about what a school has to offer, there's no better way to understand a school than going to see it in person. Consider dedicating some time to checking out the school that are on the top of your list with your children. A school faculty and administrator are always more than happy to give prospective new students and their parents a small tour of the school. Okay. And so I want to talk about the luxury of choice, because that is what it is. It is the luxury of choice. You have that luxury of choice. With so many different kinds of schools to choose from when picking the right one for your child, many parents may find the process daunting. However, it can be helpful to see the choices as a luxury instead of restraints. Exercising the luxury of choice diligently can help parents rest assured that their child is enrolled in a school that not only supports their education and holistic development, but ensures that their family values and beliefs are reflected in the school's teaching and environment. And so, with that being said, I hope I want to go back. I told you these were out of whack here. I want to come back and talk to you about upcoming things. So, next week, I am going to talk to you about the different types of, my nose is itching, excuse me, the different types of daycares. That is what I'm going to talk to you about. Hold on a minute. Somebody is saying something here. Oh, it's Mona. Hello, Mona. How are you? How are you? Thanks for coming on and spending some time with me on my broadcast. It's on different types of schools. And then next week, I am going to be talking about the different types. You're doing well? Oh, you didn't miss it. You now. She says, sorry, I missed your live videos. That's okay. You know, you can always go and watch them on the replay. Oh, she says she's doing well. And guess what? It is her birthday today. So let's all wish her a happy birthday. I got to post that. I didn't get a notification on that. I don't know why. But I did not get a notification on that. So I will post that in my I have a VIP group, y'all. I will post that in my VIP group. So thank you so much for coming on to visit my broadcast today. And then the next week, I want to talk about, oh, you are so sweet. I wish I could sing, but I can't sing. Oh, Lord, y'all, I would let y'all run out of here if I started, if I started singing and so forth. But, you have really made my day. I've had a, a, a crazy, crazy day today. So, you just don't know how much you lifted me up. So, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the difference between daycares and schools, because there is a difference in them. And some schools do have daycares in them, believe it or not. And then I'm planning on having a guest speaker to come on. She is from a daycare, and she's going to talk. You'll hear more about that as we move on. So I do want to thank you for coming. I always want to leave you with words of wisdom. I call them words of wisdom. And that is, my 3 L's. Y'all know about my 3 L's. So I always tell people, because to me, the 3 L's really encompass life and the whole well-being of you. And that is, the first one is to live. Make sure you live your life. Live your life to live your life to the fullest. Oh, Mona, you're in my I think you're in my VIP group. I'm gonna look because I didn't get a notification, so you might not be in it. But I will make sure that you are in that group as well, sweetie. But you want to live your life. Live your life so you have fun. Life is short, and you want to live it to the fullest so that you're happy, because you'll live longer if you're happy and doing the things that you like. Don't know why my nose is itching, y'all. Thing. The second thing is to laugh. You see what I'm doing? I'm laughing because it makes you feel better. You laugh all the time. You laugh at awkward moments. You laugh, but laughter is good for the soul. So you want to put that laughter into your life. And I try to laugh every day. I do have a few people that help me out in my laughing as well. And they post little things to make me laugh, because you do need that. And today was a day that I truly, truly needed some joy in my life. And then the last thing is to love. Make sure that you love everyone. And I know that's a difficult thing to ask of anyone, is to love everyone. And my grandmother says it's hard, but she says, baby, you can always love somebody with a long wooden spoon. And so I always pass that knowledge on to you. So when you hear people say that, I try to love everybody, but I do have few people that I love with a long wooden spoon. But the most important thing of all is that you need to love yourself. Make sure that you have self-love, because self-love is very important as well. And so with that being said, I hope that this evening that I have inspired you in some kind of way with my knowledge on the diverse school types and their impact on learning. I hope that I have encouraged you, so that in the near future, if you have a child that you're trying to put into school, that you research that school and make sure that it is a good fit for your child, because there are many schools out here. And I've seen many people who have had difficulty in the traditional schools, and they have reverted to homeschooling. And there's nothing wrong with homeschooling as long as you're schooling. There's some school involved, and as you can see, it's virtual schools are very popular too as well. So, and I hope that we have empowered you to live a better life, and getting the education and the right education for you or your child is going to make your life better. So with that being said, I am going to bid you all adieu, and I want to thank you again for watching Sweet Blessings, the Anna L. Brothers show and podcast. Have a great one, you all. I'll see you all next week.